Effective today, President Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs doubled to 50%, and businesses are bracing for the impact as everything from cars to coffee tins could get more expensive. Our own Jacob Soboroff is in a warehouse in Los Angeles where he's been following the direct, on-the-ground impact these tariffs are having on the supply chain. Jacob?
Hey, what's up, Steph? Last time I talked to you, I was down at the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach, where they were seeing effectively what was a ghost town port in the wake of those tariffs, even at the beginning of the 90-day pause. Well, now we're well into the 90-day pause, and this is the next step in that supply chain. This is an importer called Yeti Housewares. It's run by Bobby Javahiri, and who, by the way, is a conservative, but he invited us in here to understand the implications of the tariffs. I want to walk you through this a little bit. These are air fryers and rice cookers, the signature products that they sell here. His father started this business. He's 93 years old. This is a family business. You might be asking, well, if there's a pause, the prices on all this stuff because of the tariffs, and by the way, they're subject to the new aluminum and steel tariffs. They've been subject to the tariffs from China. A lot of the stuff comes from China. Bobby Javahiri has been to China more than 40 times. Why is there so much stuff all over the place here? The answer is they stockpiled. They stockpiled at the beginning of the Trump administration, knowing that President Trump was going to put tariffs into place. But now they're starting to run out of a lot of this stuff, making big uncertainty ahead of not only the summer season, but the Christmas season. Bobby is really worried about what the future of this business is going to be, and not just the future of the business. He has told me very clearly that all of this stuff, because he's paying more to bring it to the United States of America, his customers, whether they're through Ross or TJ Maxx or any of these other big box retailers that they sell to, are going to have to raise the prices as well. And there's only so long that can be sustainable for a business like this. Once that stuff, and I want to show you, keep going, because I'm going to go around the corner here. Once the stuff comes off of the ships, they end up in a place just like this. Look at all this stuff that they had to stockpile and to back order. But the bottom line is, Steph, they aren't going to be able to do this for much longer. With the pause that's in place, they could try to make any deal that they possibly can right now, but the reality is it probably is not going to be sustainable for them. This business is just one, and it's actually a pretty small business. There are literally thousands of businesses like this across the country of all shapes and of all sizes that are struggling equally under this tariff regime by the Trump administration. What Bobby says is, and as I mentioned, he was a conservative, or is a conservative, he doesn't feel like the government is working for him. President Trump says he's making deals in the interest of the American people. People like Bobby Javahiri and Yeti Houseware are feeling the pain right now, and that's why they invited us in here to show you what that pain looks like, and the fact that they're not going to be able to take this much longer. Steph?
Jacob, thank you so much. Here's another thing that is worth watching closely. Whether the administration is going after independent economic statistics. Don't glaze over. This matters. I'm talking about, like, how many people are unemployed? Or is inflation getting better or worse? Numbers that are crucial to investors, to big business, to small business, to economists, to farmers, for basically anybody who needs to know what is happening in the economy so they can make decisions about hiring, about firing, about growing their businesses, so they can actually employ some sort of strategy. Well, according to Politico, the administration has held back a report that showed the deficit rising for trade in farm goods, which contradicts what the president says his trade policies will do. If you recall, not too long ago, Commerce Secretary Lutnick talked about possibly changing how the government measures economic growth. And now there are new worries about what we've just outlined. With so many people either fired or pushed out of the government, there might not be enough people still employed there to actually accurately add up what is happening with inflation. So whether it's intentional or the result of cutting too deep, the result is the same. If we cannot trust the numbers about our economy, that is going to have major consequences for how we grow and thrive as citizens and as a nation. Peter, what's your take on this? Because, again, the people who need this data are not low information voters.
Right.
These are professionals who know these numbers and know how they're calculated. The government isn't pulling the wool over their eyes, but suddenly, if they can't trust the numbers coming out of Washington, disaster strikes.
We are proud, and rightfully so, of being the citadel of capitalism. We get the benefits of capitalism, the market system where the government doesn't set prices. We're not supposed to have manipulation. We're supposed to have transparency, competition. Now, there are all sorts of ways in which we fall short of these ideals, but central to this notion is that market participants are taking their cues from one another and from good data and from a solid understanding of what's happening in the marketplace. These sorts of questions, can we trust the unemployment data? Do we know what economic growth is? How big is the deficit? These are the sorts of questions that we're accustomed to asking in the context of Narendra Modi's India, Erdogan's Turkey, way back to the days of Maoism in China, where we know that we can't trust the numbers. And the result is gross inefficiency, tremendous corruption, and consumers get a bad deal and businesses have a hard time. And it's not a good way to grow wealth or help people with their livelihood. It's a destructive path.